I think there was such a diversity of response in this country from different states that we really did not have a unified.
Okay, so the interesting part is, again, why no zinc? How is it we are still missing zinc in this story over and over and over again? This is from a comment, and says here, after rereading the Henry Ford Hospital study that we were just looking at right now this morning and noting no zinc was used, I started a literature search on zinc and ionophores. This paper caught my eye. Back in 2010, Robert Barrick, other coronavirus researchers studied the potential for zinc and ionophores to block viral replication in vitro and in cell culture, and that's 10 years ago. And here's the link to that paper. What first surprised me is how old these data are. We've known this for a long time. But then what caught my eye and startled me was the author list. Robert Barrick. Robert Barrick is one of the people who was doing gain-of-function research on coronaviruses. In 2015, this is continuing from that same comment by Island Girl. Link is right there. It says here, in 2015, Robert Barrick and his protege, Shizheng Li from the Wuhan Institute of Virology, among others, published their creation of a chimeric SARS virus with S protein adapted for greater infectivity and morbidity, part of the gain-of-function research program. Notice what they report. The results indicate that group 2B viruses encoding the SHC-014 spike in a wild-type backbone can efficiently use multiple orthologs of the SARS receptor human ACE2, replicate efficiently in primary human airway cells, and achieve in vitro titers equivalent to epidemic strains of SARS-CoV. That's the classic SARS, or original SARS. Additionally, in vivo experiments demonstrate replication of the chimeric virus in mouse lung with notable pathogenesis. So here they are doing chimeric virus monkeying around gain-of-function stuff, noted that it worked in vitro, in glass, and works in vivo, that's in whole animals. So they're already doing this stuff back in 2015. How about this, though? Evaluation of available SARS-based immune therapeutic and prophylactic modalities revealed poor efficacy.
I do not believe it would disappear because it's such a highly transmissible virus. It is unlikely that it's going to disappear.
Okay. Yeah. So, didn't quite work out. We synthetically rederived an infectious full-length recombinant virus and demonstrate robust viral replication both in vitro and in vivo. And so they say, wow, this thing could actually be a bad virus. It could get out. So they also did research back then that showed that zinc and ionophores, right, also did research. Zinc and ionophores might be effective at inhibiting replication of RNA viruses. So now that there has been a reemergence of a SARS-CoV virus, why aren't they out there publicly and vigorously advocating for post-exposure trials of cheap and available zinc in combo with ionophores? That would be the chloroquines, that'd be quercetin, flavonoids, are just two examples to mitigate this disease. If their own research shows this simple treatment has potential, but immune modalities don't, I'm suffering cognitive and moral dissonance. I think I just went down the rabbit hole. You're absolutely right. Look at this. They're up here saying that zinc works, and they're not so sure about antibody and vaccine approaches. They seem to fail to work against these things. And they've been monkeying around in this stuff. And these are the people who are working on these things. And they should have been the first ones, the loudest ones, and the most vocal ones consistently out there in public talking about zinc and zinc ionophores as a cheap, easy, and effective prophylaxis for this particular virus. And they have been dead quiet the whole time. Not a peep out of them that I am aware of. And so, yeah, if you want to suffer from both cognitive and moral dissonance, I'm right there with you. There's something really ugly going on here. All right. The war on hydroxychloroquine, though, it's a really ugly chapter in our lives.
The overwhelming cumulative evidence of properly conducted randomized controlled trials indicate no therapeutic efficacy for hydroxychloroquine.
And I think when the dust settles on this, we're going to discover that people, institutions, entities, the media, were actually conducted a war on hydroxychloroquine that turned out is going to have cost a lot of lives.
The good what? The good Germans?
And I'm really upset about that. It's just not good. Also, there's no excuse for leaving zinc out at this point in time. None. Just include it, all right? And there's less than no excuse for the same prominent virologists who are working on that ugly gain-of-function research on coronaviruses to somehow forget to mention zinc's usefulness.
Demonstrate that God's law is written in their hearts, for their own conscience and thoughts either accuse them or tell them they are doing right.